let's begin. Bismillah.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm Masoom from Group Apple. First of all, I would like to thank to SDI and our Mai sir to give us opportunity to talk on internet and social media today. So the global communication system is much more advanced now than 20 years before. And all these achievements are due to advancement internet technology. And the sky is open for the social media is taking over conventional face-to-face interaction. In this time, people cannot stay without internet and social media even for a minute, much less a day. Even myself, I believe 100%. The first things I will do after my presentations, I open my phone and I watch what's happening. In less than 20 years, around 210 countries have been taken under the social media, and thus global socialization and communications are really simplified. From the north to the south, from the south pier to north pier, there are no place without internet. Internet is so easy to use, regardless of any age. As I was growing up, I did not have so much access to the internet. But because internet is so easy to use, then I have become proficient in using it with social media even at my age. Now I will lead this platform for my team members who will explain the evolution of the internet. I will invite to Mr. Shakil to come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Masoom. My name is Shakil, and now I am here to tell you what is the internet and how it come to be. The internet is generally defined as a global network connecting millions of computers. It is biggest worldwide communication networks of computers. Internet has millions of smaller domestic, academic, and business and governmental networks which carry many different kinds of information and varying purposes. The term is abbreviated sometimes the net. The World Wide Web, as more commonly known as WWW, is the biggest services. It is used by a few million people all over the world in same time. So now let me share with you how it came to be. The internet was developed in the United States by the United States Department of Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It's called DARPA. The internet was first connected in October 1969 and is called ARPANET. The internet is the result of some visionary thinking of people in the early 1960s, which saw great potential value in allowing computers to share information on research and development in scientific and military fields. However, it is no longer limited to just scientific and military purposes. It is used for literally every single things. So I would like to request Mr. Chairman to come forward and expand on.
Mr. Shakir. I am Jamal. Now I am here to present some of the features of the internet. First of all, the World Wide Web, or more commonly known as WWW. The World Wide Web is a part of the internet. We support hypertext documents, allowing user to view and navigate different type of data. A web page is a document encoded with hypertext markup language which follows HTML. Second is email, which means electronic mail. The email is the most popular reason for people use the internet. The email is fundamental application used for business and commerce. Every transaction that takes place is payment, no longer no paper, but type out on the email. So it is critical for everyone to have an email program with a domain to carry, send and receive messages. Third is news. News is an internet-based service which includes tens of thousands of news groups. Each news group was discussing on a specific topic. The wonderful things are that anybody and anyone can let their opinion be heard. Fourth is Telnet. Telnet is a specialist service that is used on computer to access the content of another computer. A Telnet program carries Windows into the host, so you can access file, issue transfer, issue comment, and access data seamlessly. Lastly, FTP, which is File Transfer Protocol. FTP is one of the major internet tools. It is used to copy file from one computer to another. Now, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Mr. Wu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raman. And good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Mohammed Noor, and I'm here to share what are the benefits of using the internet. The main benefit or advantage of the internet is the ability to connect billions of computers and devices to each other. Not only does the internet create convenience in sharing and receiving information between users, but also allows users to do it very easily. Let's address some of the benefits or advantages of the using the internet. The first is electrical communication. The internet first came into existence to allow people to communicate with someone who was not in the same room as us. Nowadays, we no longer need to send letter via mail because we have ability to send the receipt message or electronic mail and without the need of a postage system. The second is online shopping. With the internet came the convenience of online shopping rather than having to drive to the malls and wait no long queues to make a purchase. You can now do all of your shopping by a few clicks on your mouse or by tapping of your fingers. Third is online banking. Nowadays, online banking is practically the norm. You log into your online account to pay bill, transfer funds, or just check your balance rather than go to the bank. Banks have nowadays almost become obsolete. Fourth is getting information. Retrieving information is probably the biggest advantage of the internet offers. Information is a virtual treasure trove of information. We can have any kind of information from internet. Every time we need to do something, we can simply Google it. And last is entertainment. Entertainment is another popular reason why many people prefer to surf the internet. Via internet, now we can easily watch movies, TV shows, music over the world. People spend hours and hours a day surfing YouTube, SoundCloud, etc. Nowadays, we can comfortably lie down on our bed and hold on our smartphone in front of eyes and stay in that position watching video for an hour. Okay, thank you. Now I would like to hand over to my friend Mr. Amun.
Thanks, Mr. Noor. Good evening, everyone.
Good
I am
evening.
Amun. I'd like to present to all of you what is social media, what they are, and how it was created. Social media is website and computer program that allow people to communicate and share information on the internet using a phone or computer. We share some example things are news, photo, picture, and audio, video, etc. Social media is page that we throw around frequently those days. Social media refer to applicants. They are designated to allow people to share content quickly, efficiently, and in real time. Most people define as social media as apps on their communication tools like phone or computer. Social media is becoming an integral part of our life and social lifestyle. Most traditional online media includes like component such as comment field for users in business. Social media is used to market products, promote brand, connect to current customers, and foster new businesses. Some of the most popular social media example as WhatsApp, Messenger, Viber, Twitter, Wikipedia, WeChat, LinkedIn, Fancy, Google, YouTube, etc. Now I will tell how was came social media. Social media has came a hell of long way over the last 10 years. The first social media platform is called GeoCities. It is the first with web hosting service, originally founded by David Waldland. It has a simple block structure. User could upload photo and text among the block. Early 2000, we started to see increase the inactive social media and website. From mid 2000, we have seen unimaginable growth of some of the major players in the social media such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Viber, etc. Now I would hand over my friend Mr. Sujit. Come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Mamoon. Hello, good evening.
Good
My name
evening.
is Sujit. I would like to share with you what are the benefits of using social media for the young generation. Social media provides young people with a range of benefits and opportunities to empower themselves through variety of ways. Young people can maintain social connection and support networks that otherwise could not be possible, and can access more information than ever before. One of the biggest advantages of social media marketing is that it is entirely free to start. None of the largest platforms have signed to fees of any sort. So the only investment you will need to make is in the form of time. In addition to Facebook, Twitter has 313 million monthly active users. Instagram has 500 million. Although you don't need to utilize every single platform, creating accounts on just one or two can give you exposure to millions of people around the world. Previously, actors and rich people had followers and were popular. Nowadays, with social media, anybody can become star, anybody can be famous. We have now invented a term called Insta celebrity or Facebook celebrity. These are people also considered influencers, as what they say can reach hundreds and thousands of people. Perhaps the most unique advantage, the advantage of social media is ability to get help from your followers. People love to share things with their networks and photos and receive to interesting articles and audios. Thank you all. Now I would like to pass on to Mr. Paul.
Thanks, my friend Shojit. My name is Farhat. Now I am here to tell why are people using social media. It got me thinking, and the most of us understand that we on social media for our small business is all the whole marketing and over we don't always necessarily consider why our audience is on social media in the first place. Which is the irony because that may be most important thing to consider. Social media comes down to simple basic human desire. We need to connect with other humans to be part of group. Social media came about at a time after the old had in many ways become a smaller due to advancement of technology. The internet was made it extremely easy for us to connect with anywhere, any place, anytime. We know more about each other than we ever did before. Nowadays, most of people are using Facebook, Twitter, Google, and YouTube. However, social media is not just limited to this for application. More and more applications are gaining popularity. So I am hand over to my friend Kamal Akram. Come here, please.
Thank you, Mr. Farhat. I am Akram. I will share on the prevention of misuse of the internet and social media. Actually, the ways of prevent misuse of internet and social media is about the same. Firstly, I would like to tell you about internet. Internet is very useful as most technology depend on it. But there are some misuse of the internet as well. Let's have a look at them. Firstly, number one, email spamming. And number two, negative publicity. And number three, posting fake advertisement. And number four, spending too much time with internet. Ways to maybe preventing this issue are two. First, we can use on alarm clock or timer. And second, make copies of information you needed. So, how about social media? Clearly, for a long time, that humans take anything that is free for granted, and the same principle actually applies to social media, like setting up account on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So here are few things you could to do about misuse of the social networks. First, share useful content instead of the spam. Number 2, avoid aggressive follow behavior. And number 3, maintain a good manner to across interactions. Finally, to prevent misuse of the internet and social media is slowly up to us. Whether or not we choose to be part of the problem, of the solution is up to us. So I urge all of you to be responsible of social media. Finally, I would hand over to Mr. Shuan for the conclusion.
Thank you, Mr. Akram. Good evening. It's me, Rahman Shahanur. I am the last presenter from Group Apple. So, how was our group presentation today?
That's fine.
Good. Thank you. Okay, let me summarize our topics, which is internet and the social media. Social media addiction will rise in future. More networking websites like Facebook and YouTube will develop. Internet use will increases in the future because it will be much cheaper and accessible. Disadvantages of social media like addiction causing deterioration of adverse effects on the individual's health, workplace, education and social life will increase by the end of 2020. Now here I will share a few examples of these effects. Number 1, in 2005, a 28-year-old South Korean died due to lack of sleep and improper diet resulting from continuously playing video games from 50 hours. This was only able to happen because of how easy and cheap it is to access internet from all around the world. This also shows how addictive a simple game can be when played online. Number 2, a Chinese man died after spending 3 days at the internet case. The cause of the death was due to cyber aggression. This also shows how addictive a simple game can be when played online. Number 3, a man walked onto the street without looking left or right for traffic while on Facebook and was fallen by a car. He was so engrossed in social media that it caused him to lose his precious life. So my friends, let me ask you some questions. Is it worth losing your real life, friends and family in order to make virtual ones over social media? No, most definitely not. Is it worth losing your life because you were staring at a small screen in your hand? No, most definitely not. So friends, I believe it is time to stop looking down and start looking up. So finally, I thank our honorable teacher, Mr. Mahi sir and Mr. Tawfiq sir, and also our loving all friends and SDI Academy. Thank you.
Okay. Alright. Okay, good presentation. What I want to say is that regarding internet and social media, okay, another thinking question. Okay. So you guys talk about negativities and benefits of social media, right? So now let's talk about news. Okay, let's talk about news on social media or internet. How do you know whether this news is credible? Credible meaning can be trusted. There's so many websites on the internet, so many news channels, news websites or whatsoever, how do you know that this news can be trusted? How? Or on social media, Facebook, whatsoever.
Okay, for me, when I see some news on Facebook or any social media, first of all I check this. It came from where? This news is came from where? First of all I check this. Like Singapore, this News Asia, there are some televisions or some news so-called newspapers. First of all I check this, then I presume it's okay. Or if I see is like anybody sharing or like is some website is created by somebody else for his earning purpose, just give the fake news to social networking, social media. So that was this way I categorize this news is fake or is real.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Well done. Okay, please take a seat.